Okay, now next up, we're going to talk about an interesting interview, and this is funny because it correlates to the topic that we just talked about with Zion.
Ah.
But this woman that you see here is an OnlyFans superstar. Her
Oh.
name is Elle Brooks, and she was on an interview with Piers Morgan,
That's right.
and she basically ethered Piers Morgan on his own show. And we are going to show you exactly what we are talking about. So, this woman was on Piers Morgan, and Piers Morgan was kind of, asking her about her life choices and, why it is that she chose to give up a promising career. She was studying to become a lawyer, and she gave it up to be a sex worker on OnlyFans. And, Piers Morgan is an older gentleman from a previous generation. And so he's trying to understand why you would do this. And her response was pretty appropriate, I would say. So this article is from Hot New Hip Hop. It says OnlyFans star Elle Brooke ruthlessly dunks on Piers Morgan. Elle Brooke is one of the biggest success stories on OnlyFans. The 25-year-old was originally a law student at the University of Southampton before dropping out to pursue content creation full time. I really wish these people would stop being called, okay, they're content creators, but that's a very sugar-coated way of putting what they do. But I digress. While OnlyFans doesn't show creator subscriber numbers, Brooke is reportedly in top 0.001% of users on the site.
Damn.
Per her site's description, she offers, quote, boy, girl, threesomes, anal, huge squirts, role play, and fantasy, end
Damn.
quote. Furthermore, Brooke has nearly 1 million followers on Twitter. So, needless to say, she's a blue check mark. Brooke appeared on Piers Morgan's Talk TV show on June 9th. Morgan, a veteran conservative journalist, has long been a purity culture warrior. It's an amusing position for Morgan to hold, given that he oversaw a culture of phone hacking while editor of the Daily Mirror. Regardless, Morgan was totally unprepared for the verbal evisceration he received from the OnlyFans star. So here is a caption of this of a piece of this interview from Neighborhood Talk on Instagram. So I'll go ahead and play this. This is the part of their interview that's getting the most spins, in the content creator space.
I'm just curious about you being someone who embarks on a law career, was obviously very bright, went to university, packed it in just for money to be effectively an online stripper. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah. Way worse than an online stripper. But
what do you mean way worse?
way worse. Online strippers just, naked. I do things that are way more grotesque than
Just
that.
pornography,
anything, but it's all within what I want to do, and I absolutely love it, and I'm really good at it. I could be a good lawyer, yes, but also, am I good at doing other things on video and camera?
How do you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now.
But you will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, but look at all my stuff.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Hysterical.
Oh, yeah. So that last part was the part that has everybody saying that she flamed them. They can cry in a Ferrari. And she's right, because in all likelihood, she earns enough money to be able to put her kids in a Ferrari, which I think is the point of this conversation. So this is where we have gotten to with this OnlyFans situation. Obviously, I'd never heard of this chick before I caught wind of this story, but nevertheless, it's appropriate. So, what did you think about what she had to say there?
I don't know about flaming them or ethering.
That's the way it's being reported. That the response was like an ethering.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I mean, she's right. I mean, they can cry in a Ferrari, and they will be crying in a Ferrari. So That's cool, man. The thing is with people, the OnlyFans community and the, I guess, modern moralism, if you want to call that a thing, this is a moral issue kind of a thing. So if you're not a person that has morals, you see what she's doing as nothing wrong. So she can provide, if she doesn't want kids now, but she can damn sure provide for them for having sex. And she says she's having sex. She's basically doing what she wants to on there. So I'm assuming she's having sex with people she wants to have sex with, the way she wants to have sex. She's just getting paid to do it. You know. So the moral aspect of it comes in with the social shame. And should people actually care about the social shaming if all their needs and wants are met financially? So that's the trade-off. So somebody can look at this and go, yeah, slay it, girl, sluts forever. And then and then there's some people out there, that's more or less where I'm at, where the moral area is a psychological thing, not a social thing. And morally and psychologically, when you're doing stuff like this, it damages you as a person. And if you're damaged as a person, you're going to damage your children. And so I don't make the rules, man. I just follow them. Psychologically, it's better to not be having so many sexual partners, period. She does it for a living, so it's doing its damage. Then she has her offspring. She tries to raise her kids. It might be hell to pay with trying to raise them because of all the damage stuff that she has going on. So I look at morality in a way where it gets on you and then you live it out some other kind of way. So she can look at this and go, I ain't doing nothing wrong. I'm getting all these paychecks. My life is great. And if I have kids, so be it. Their life will be great too financially. But she's not taking into account the damage that she's doing. That was a damaged answer if you ask me. So how about you, sir? I mean, I've got more to say, but do you believe that this was an ethering of Mr. Morgan? Or do you think that it's a little overblown, that this is a more nuanced conversation?
I kind of think it was an ethering, but I don't think that necessarily means it's a good thing either. So, like, sex work is one of the oldest professions known to man. This is nothing new. This stuff has been around for millions of years, for however long as civilized human populations have been on this rock. Sex work has been a thing. It's one of the oldest, if not the oldest profession known to man, is what a lot of people like to say. So this is nothing new. But I think that you touched on something very key, and that's the moral angle. Before the internet changed human civilization, because it fundamentally changed people. And we did live in a more binary, existence where it's either this or this and few space for in between. There was adequate room for there to be the perception of sex work as immoral. And so it was approached immorally. Anyone who wanted to indulge in that kind of stuff, whether you were a man or a woman, because there's always been all of that kind of stuff going on too, there was an understanding that this is an indulgence, but it's nevertheless an immoral thing that is not necessarily a part of how I think of or view myself in the grand scheme of everything that I'm trying to contribute while I'm alive. What has happened in modern history, especially since the advent of the internet and all of these tools that allow us to do this direct, communication, is it has blurred the lines of morality. And it's created this situation in which there's now ambiguity when it comes to morality. We don't even know what it is. And in lieu of that ambiguity, we're creating a space in which sex work is being sort of remade into something that can be perceived as moral. And that's what's causing the confusion. So, like now, what's going on with this OnlyFans stuff, and the reason why it's proliferated to such a huge degree, in my opinion, is because you have people now who engage with it and who indulge in it, who don't necessarily want to put it in the corner and leave it there where it belongs. They want to say, oh, okay, well, I do this because it's just as moral as not doing it. Because what is moral? We want to redefine it. Very similar to the way that we want to redefine gender and, male, female, and sex and all. We literally want to strip everything down and redefine it. And we want to give it a brand new definition.
Mm-hmm.
So the part about this that messes with my head is because there's this moral ambiguity, and because in lieu of this ambiguity, there's a contingent of our society and our population that is saying OnlyFans is not only not something that needs to be kept over here in the recesses or in a corner, but needs to be sort of propagated and celebrated as this bastion of entrepreneurial spirit. These women are business owners and entrepreneurs, and they're doing important things, in the world. And it's no, they're not. They're sex workers. But sex worker is now being glorified. Very similar to the way that like shooting and killing was glorified in hip hop music for so long, and to certain respects continues to be. And it took forever for some people to wake up and say, maybe there's a different way to go about doing this. I feel like now we're in sort of a renaissance period with sex work. And that's why things like OnlyFans persist, and why you have so many women like her who are able to afford to put their children in a Ferrari. Now, is she at the point literally where she can afford to do that? I don't know. But I'm guessing that if she's in the top 0.001% of OnlyFans subscribers, she probably makes a fair amount of money. I've seen some of these receipts on the internet. Some of these chicks make $10,000 a month to do far less than what she claims to do. So they out here getting bread. And the part about it that rubs me the wrong way the most is they're not contributing anything meaningful. She was doing that when she was trying to go into law and realize that she can take advantage of these simp beta males who are willing to pay her to smash on camera. So it's the market for things like OnlyFans that bother me more than anything, not the existence of it. Because as I said, the existence of it ain't new. It's been around forever. If you want to believe it's the oldest profession known to man, whether it's the oldest or near the oldest, it's been around for a hell of a long time. But this way that we're redefining what it is to do it is what's creating some problems, because it's factoring into the overall equation of men growing up devoid of social skills, devoid of those radar detection systems that enable them to make good decisions when it comes to women. It all factors into it because it feeds upon itself. The more that this thing is proliferated, the more you have more guys like Zion Williamson out here getting chicks like this pregnant. Chicks like this were made for guys like Zion. And because there are more and more guys like Zion, there's more and more women like this who are able to come up like this.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to think that that's a good thing, because a lot of people are listening to what I'm saying, bruh, why you tripping? They getting money. Okay, that's your beta mentality. That's your beta mentality. I'm looking at this from a real world top-down perspective, and I'm trying to project what the long-term effects and ramifications of this kind of stuff is or are. That's how I'm looking at this. And some people don't look at it that way. They look at it in the moment, microwave society, and they say she getting a bag. And of course, all the women that are looking at it saying she getting a bag. But I'm saying it's creating issues, relationship issues, societal issues, economic issues. I'm looking at everything, all of it. And I'm saying that this ain't where it's at. But then again, if I'm being honest about the way the world is, it kind of is where it's at, because this is what you get. See, I'm fortunate enough because of the era in which I was born. I thank God every day I was born when I was born. Because if I was born 5, 6, 7 years later, I'd be in a world of hurt. Because my perception and my perception of women and my belief in what relationships and sex and my approach and communication with women, how to treat women, how to meet women, how to talk and communicate women. My worldview on these various concepts would have came from what the internet taught me, and would have came from what I can get from OnlyFans and Pornhub and Instagram and Snap. And that's the world that a lot of these dudes are. That's Zion's world. That's Zion's reality. And because that's his reality, and he grew up tunnel vision, Tiger Woods, he's now on the hook with a porn star and a stripper. And we just talked about it in the previous topic with all of those receipts, 20 racks a month, I'll be damned. So yeah, I mean, you know, that's why I kind of feel like she did ether him, because she's basically telling this dude, you can hit me with all of your moral hijinks all you want to. I'm putting my jits in a Ferrari, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Because as long as there's these simp, beta, effeminate, sorry dudes out here who are willing to pay me to be in the top 0.001% of OnlyFans, I'm going to be out here eating and making more money than you'll make hosting this weirdo TV show on YouTube. So what you got to say about that? And hey, man, I'm just reporting the news here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't come at me. You know, all you ladies out there who feel like this chick is an example of a positive step in the right direction, come to me when you're out here looking for a mate. Whenever that happens, and you actually have to interface with these dudes who are spending hundreds of dollars a month on OnlyFans. Tell me how you feel about it then. You know, so I feel like she did ether, and to be real with you, the more that I kind of talk about how I feel about this situation, now ether, it's a relative term. So when I say ether, I'm being sarcastic, and you know, I'm being sort of ambivalent when it comes to how I look at the situation. But therein lies the problem. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think, you know, she has a point. And hey, man, if you're of my ilk and you want to see some of this stuff dialed back and curtailed, some of y'all need to put it. I don't know how many times we got to say this, but y'all need to put these things down. Put your laptops away. Put the tablets down. Put the OnlyFans down. Take that money that you spend on this chick to see her bust down, and go out and get you a woman who's going to bust down for you in person. As you said in the previous topic with Zion, he's paying 20 racks a day or a month to chicks who she's giving that same thing to other guys for free. She just so happened to find you, the chump, who's willing to pay for it. And the problem is there's more and more chumps. Like, you know, the veracity of chumps out here is just far exceeding, you know, the veracity of men who are on their square. And men create the marketplace. So as long as there are men who create the marketplace, there will always be women like Elle Brooke who can put her kids in a Ferrari. So if you don't like this, change the marketplace. Dial it back. Now, whether it happens or not, who knows? But that really is the only solution.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, and I look at it like reps. Like for men, you have to have like certain amount of reps in the game, a certain amount of reps participating in trying to be social in order to have enough game once you hit professional levels. And once, if you don't work on your left hand layup, if you don't work on you know, your legs, period, you know, here comes injuries. You're not gonna, you know, you're not gonna be in the best position to win at an elite level. And so people, these, you know, men are losing reps socially, period. So when schools started taking certain things out, hey, no more of this, less physical activities, those are reps gone. Those guys aren't getting that. Then when you introduce video games, which is nothing wrong when played in moderation, but people don't know how to do that, and they're not told to do that, and they make these games like crack nowadays, so they can't turn it off. So when they got that, they're losing reps. Then once social media became a thing, you know, and you don't have to really deal with rejection. You know, that's why people lose it so much nowadays, and everybody is so quick to get triggered because no one likes to be rejected. That's something that you have to learn to deal with, because not everybody's always going to say yeah to you. But not, the world now is super sensitive because the world told you no. Nope, you can't go in that bathroom. Can't go over there. You can't. Now everybody's pissed off. But reps are being lost socially. So through social media and all this DMing and sliding into DMs, that's so weak to me, bro.
So
That's so weak to me. Now, if a girl go on my DM, it's all love. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna be DM slider. You know what I'm saying? Now, but be that as it may, that's where we're at. Dating apps or whatever. Not that people are winning on dating. The men aren't winning on dating apps, you know, unless you're, you know, six figures, you know, all that stuff. So dudes is losing reps everywhere in every statistical category for them to be man. And if you don't work on being man, you ain't gonna wake up with that. Those are reps. You gotta slowly grind your way to that mentality. And dudes like Zion aren't getting it, as you mentioned. And due to the lack of reps, they get in there, especially him, he got thrown professional money. And so due to the lack of reps, he got so exposed. But we mentioned that this is the mentality of all of these dudes. Now, see, Zion got $200 million, so he can get his trick $20,000 a pop. You, on the other hand, not you, but people on the streets as OnlyFans subscribers, you know, you make your you make your, you know, whatever thousands of dollars per year, you know, so you don't look at $20 as tricking off. But if you had Zion money, you would be buying OnlyFans chicks for real, like Zion could afford it. He's no different. So there's a lot of dudes out here that's quick to call Zion simping, but got multiple OnlyFans accounts.
Yes,
Sir,
absolutely.
Sir, you must look in the mirror and then ask yourself, am I the simp too? Yes, you are. You're equally as much as a simp as Zion is. Zion just got the bag to do it. And that's why that's why I tell people, you can do things in the small to know how you're going to do things when things get really big. And I've handled stuff really bad in the small before. And I said, thank God I ain't got, you know, whatever popping for myself, because I was wide open when I did that. And so for Zion, he don't have that safety net no more. Everybody going to know his business. Other people at home where your business, nobody care about your business, probably got equally as messy stuff that Zion got going on, because everybody out here is thirsting after BBL chicks, OnlyFans girls. Where are they getting all this money from? These dudes live amongst us, bruh. They dap us up at the court.
Yes.
Yeah, they dap us up at the court. They live among us. Oh, no, man. Not me. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me check your statements, bro. You know what I'm saying? Act like the time. Hey, man, I had to make those uncomfortable calls back in the day, man, when my credit card was linked to some website. I had to make that phone call. And you know, them people on the line, they know goddamn well while I'm calling. And goddamn well while I was watching. Yeah, when they sit there and go, and what account is it again that you're come on, bro. You know what I'm calling it, the cancel. So, hey, bro, I've been there too, man. But you know, I like I mentioned before, man, I just realized how much that stuff was taken away from my reps. Because when I went into the field, bro, it showed. So I said no. So reps over at-home entertainment, if you know what I'm getting at. And so you just got to go out there and get it. These young dudes, that's what I'm saying. They came, like you said, bro, we were in a good little pocket. You know, we got DVDs, VCRs, you know what I'm saying?
Table boxes.
You know what I'm saying? Goddamn Sega, regular Sega, all the way to we've seen every damn thing. We saw transitioning. So our cohort has a unique ability to translate things to this young group here and to the older group, because we saw all of it. And so I'm pretty sure these young kids now are going to be able to see, but this is our window to give back to the younger group of people or whoever, because this dude's our age and older that's on OnlyFans. But it's still like a thing where, hey, dudes, a call to action.
Yeah.
Put the lotion down.
Yeah, for real. Definitely, man. And you're 100% right. They are among us. And I don't think I ever mentioned this on the channel, but I know I told you about it off camera, I think. But a friend of mine, she's a teller at a Bank of America, I think.
Yeah.
And she told me, now this girl, this is her full-time job. They used to manage it, but then they would have her run and teller. But she used to run teller a lot at Bank of America. And she told me how often it would happen when it was always men would call in to talk about fraudulent transactions on their account. And then she would look up the account and it would be all of these OnlyFans charges. And, she basically realized that these guys were calling trying to holla fraud when damn well you was making all of these charges.
Right.
But you got in over your head, one too many subscriptions, they debited the money out, and now you want your money back because you're broke.
Right.
So you want to call the bank talking about fraud. No, there ain't no damn fraud. You charge all of that. And she used to tell me every other day, she used to get hit with this dude calling the bank, trying to get some kind of money back. All of these charges that they was making to OnlyFans or this site or that site, paying for it. And that's just one person I know who does this for a living. So you can extrapolate that to the rest of the population in terms of how prevalent this crap is. They're definitely among us. They are. And it's increasing in a rate that is alarming to me. And it's horrible because you're creating this lane which allows individuals like this woman here who contribute nothing to society to become rich, at some point perhaps wealthy, if her mind can take the strain of what she's doing long enough to do it into perpetuity to become that financially free. But at the very least, she's able to do enough to put her kids in a Ferrari, as she puts it.
Or worse, she's an influencer.
Well, yeah, or that. And so it's like there should be something. And forget women, whatever with y'all, because a lot of y'all come together and cape for one another in ridiculous ways that I don't understand. So y'all can just go whatever with this. But to y'all men out there, there should be something in you that intrinsically feels wrong about the fact that this is a thing. And if you are a guy who contributes to this by paying for it yourself, subscribing to OnlyFans, there needs to be something in you intrinsically that eats away at your soul, that tells you, there's a voice that's saying this ain't all the way right. Even if you're spending the money on it, there's something that's not right about this. You ain't even getting it. You're just paying to watch her.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy. It's absolute madness. And the last thing that I'll say, I was listening to Rude Jude on Shade 4-5 one day, the All Out show. And he had one of these cam girls on his show because they put a lot of born chicks and OnlyFans chicks and cam chicks on that show because that's the kind of audience, that's the lane they talk about a lot of that stuff. And so one of these cam bras, I've never heard of this chick. Don't even know who she is. But apparently she's huge, got millions of followers on Instagram. She's huge on OnlyFans, da-da-da-da-da. And Rude Jude was talking to her about how much money she makes and how successful she is. And even Rude Jude, a self-proclaimed porn consumer himself, okay, was talking about how much he thinks it sucks that chicks like her get to make as much money that she makes because all she's doing is profiting off of a large society of male losers. And to her credit, she admitted, yeah, I make money off of a bunch of guys who are losers. So, if some of y'all guys are watching this video, if you're one of those losers, maybe this can be a shock to your system. Figure out ways and steps to put this stuff down so that you can, advance yourself to no longer being a loser. And to the rest of y'all out there who are contributing to this madness, you're part of the problem and you're one of the losers. So unplug from this shit and get out of the matrix. Because women like this shouldn't be able to be running around driving Ferraris just because she busts down on the internet.
Right.
But you know, that's where we are. That's the world we live in. It ain't about sex work per se. It's about the proliferation of the marketplace. So don't get me wrong, because otherwise I'd be on this channel every week complaining about prostitutes and escorts and everything else under the sun, women who work in brothels and all of that kind of stuff. Sex working has been around for ages, so I'm not on that. I'm talking about the proliferation of the marketplace and how it has infiltrated so deeply. All y'all out here running around out here paying for this stuff on the internet. So you know, it is what it is, but the buck has to stop at some point. Not sure when it will or in what form that's going to take, but that's where we are, man. And you know, it's frightening, at least to me. So,
and I'll say this is my last thing, and money don't move me like that. So somebody, when their default answer is, "or they get in the bag," that's, you didn't tell me nothing. And as we see with Zion Williamson, all right, he's got a really big bag, and look at what he just did. So bags don't mean you've got things figured out. So somebody can say that, oh yeah, she's getting her bag, or hey man, I can pay for all these OnlyFans accounts because I got a bag. Hey man, one thing about, you know, your life force is more important than a bag. And when that girl is on camera soullessly talking to 500 plus men in the chat, she can't be talking to you.
She's not.
And then when you sending money, you just a floating avatar. Oh, hey, Big D69. Thanks. Love you. And
straight patronization. That's all it is.
Big D69 at the house didn't take a bath in 3 days. Yeah. You know, checking his bank statements to see if he can fork over $5 more. Now, he's probably got it to spend it on it. But what just happened? And this ties in what I was mentioning about devaluing sex like that. Well, you got to bring that stuff down, because if you do not put vagina on a pedestal, it is impossible for you to give a woman who's doing nothing for you money for sexual stuff. You can donate money to worthy causes. You can do stuff like that. This woman's selling you sex online, which is impossible, literally. And you pay for it. That has to be the biggest mental gymnastics ever. It's bad enough to have the account. I'm talking about the donators too. Get some help, son. So money don't mean nothing, man. And that's why this whole morality stuff, it's all about who you are at night, who you sleep with. You sleep with yourself. And if you got all these OnlyFans subscriptions, I'm finding it difficult to think that you sleep well at night. So, hey man, you know, I'm not grandstanding. I don't watch plenty of free sites. Emphasis on free, sir. Hey, I done hit some scandalous females too, man. Didn't pay for it. It was free. So the whole thing is like, hey man, get some game about yourself. Yeah. Live life free, man, and stop going out here and encouraging the next wave of thoughts, because this is like those things in the movie when you cut one thing in half and then grew 2 legs. And it's multiplying. Yes. You hit it, and it. So these things is gonna keep going. The more you give them money, because you know, ask Lunel. God damn it.
Yeah, it is. It's like an extremist sale. I don't want to use the T word, but it's like an extremist sale. You take one out, 2 more pop up in its place.
That's right.
You know, it really is, man. So, you know, every now and again, I feel like we have our customary OnlyFans rant on the Conscious Approach channel.
I'll get off my soapbox.
I'll get off it. Needless to say, we hate it. So yeah, y'all dudes out there need to get some wits about you, man. Get some help. Take that money that you spend on OnlyFans, go and get you a fresh outfit, go get your hair cut, get some male grooming on, you know what I'm saying, manscape, and hit the bar, man. Hit the bar, hit wherever you want to hit, both wherever you feel most comfortable interacting with women. There's women who will give you that for, well, not free in the sense that you're not directly paying for it in that way. You still want to sell some bucks, but more so than that, there's respect and dignity that's going to come along with that, and that's worth more than sitting in front of your laptop or your tablet, grinding your soul away and giving money to these soulless broads
and grinding your foreskin too.
Yeah, y'all need to put this stuff down and just man up. Man,
get some reps, bro. Get some reps out there.
Yeah.
Go take some losses. Let a girl turn you down like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, you'll be better off. You'll be better off for it.
Yeah.
And,
like
and to Elle, right. You know, and to Elle Brooke, man, go ahead and, you know, you do your thing. Go ahead and buy your Ferrari. Might as well take advantage of these losers.
Yeah, it's like Pop said on Friday, man. You know what I'm saying, about fighting, bro. You know, you win some, you lose some, bro. But you live, bro. You live. When you out there with, you know, these OnlyFans subscriptions, that's Craig with the gun. Boy, you cheating the game, bro. Go out there and take some losses. You know what I'm saying? Get them reps in.
You live to fight another day. You live to fight another day. Sad shit, man.